So, the Andy Cooks vlog. It's something that I've always been pretty keen to do and to do more of, but it's a tricky thing, you see. It takes a lot of work, and I've always kind of thought that YouTube's one of those things that, you know, the more effort you put in, the better you get out. But I think the reality is that sometimes you just need to turn the camera on and talk to it. And it was the realization of this more recently was to do with a young kid. Well, he's not a young kid, he's a 21-year-old guy out of the States called Sam Silic. Apologies if you watch the Sam and I've mispronounced your name. But he's like a bodybuilder and he's ripped. This dude's massive, right? But he seems like a pretty nice guy. And I'm not into bodybuilding at all. I quite enjoy fitness, but I'm not really into bodybuilding. But I keep seeing his name pop up, and why his channel's kind of popping off. And I think it's, well, not only me, I think the whole YouTube community seems to think it's the kind of rawity behind it that's really, you know, refreshing for the platform. Because I'm guilty of it myself, and that won't change anytime soon. You know, with our main channel content, you know, we employ a number of people, a number of really clever and talented people to help us make that content as best we can. And this, I think we're going to change direction, and I'm going to literally carry a camera with me, and when I feel like talking, whinging, celebrating, being grateful, whatever, then I'm going to turn the camera on and talk to it. And we're going to try and do this regularly, and then I'll just stitch it together and post it on the Back of House channel. And it's kind of meditative to me to kind of just talk to a camera now. So come along and have a real, this is going to be a real insight to my life, because it's been a crazy couple of years, and I think I kind of take for granted now my life. It's and I don't mean to. I try and be as grateful and as blessed as I can, but it's easy. You get caught up in it, you get busy, and you kind of, you know, you forget all the incredible things that happen. So I guess this is a vlog for myself, and hopefully some other people take some enjoyment from it, and I can look back on it in years to come, laugh, cry, whatever. But yeah, let's keep this raw, and I'll do my best to really show you kind of behind the curtains, I guess, so to speak. My life's changed a lot in the last 2 years, a lot. You know, literally, it's Saturday afternoon, not even lunchtime. I've just landed back from a trip to Sydney for 4 or 5 days and had some really cool meetings. Didn't film any content, was there for meetings. Did a really cool event with Gosney. Attended. And then I look back on that stuff and I'm like, wow, it's, you know, I was just in some crazy millionaire's house with a bunch of really cool people eating food, and you know, just how privileged I am to kind of see that stuff. But yeah, the rest of the day for me is I've still got my suitcases in the back, so I need to go home, unpack my stuff. I need to post our main channel YouTube. That goes live at midnight, and I'm kind of a bit behind on that. I only reviewed that video this morning, so I need to kind of post that. It's I've signed off on it, and it was kind of too late anyway to change anything. So and that's one of our Origins videos, so they're really important videos to us. That, you know, there's a huge amount of investment that goes into them, which is kind of stressful, and you know, more investment than we'll get back, that's for sure. It's not, and we kind of don't do those videos. They're not a money-making exercise. They're that Origin series is a real passion project for me. I love that type of content. I love producing that type of content. I love telling the stories behind, you know, really famous dishes. So you know, I did that, and it cost us money, and I'm not whinging about that. I'm just kind of explaining. It's not, it is what it is. I'm privileged to be able to do it, you know. But anyway, I got to post that. I got to get that ready to go live at midnight, which is in about 12 hours, 12 and a half hours. What else have I got to do today? Not heaps. We're kind of in between studios, so there's a lot of, like, you know, stuff that I'm kind of doing around the new place to try and get it ready for when the whole team comes over. So I'm sure I'll find something to do there. And then tomorrow, Sunday, is my big planning day, so lots of planning. I'll bring you along for that. I'll kind of run you through the planning process. So it's now 6 o'clock, 6:20, and I've had a pretty full day. Well, not really. It's been a pretty Saturday. I got back and I unpacked my bag and stuff like that. Just floated around the house. Caitlin came home, we had some lunch. Saw the dog. He's back, which was nice to see him. Old ducky boy. Yeah, and then I got my video uploaded, so that's ready to go for tomorrow, like I was talking about. And which is exciting. It's the Origins video. It's the last one from Nashville. Hot chicken. Some pretty cool, some pretty interesting characters. I really enjoyed that one. And that's the thing I love about that Origin series, is telling those stories of those, you know, incredible people. And I feel really blessed that I get to meet these people. You know, it's not every day you get to meet the goddaughter of the person who's invented, hot chicken. So it's a fun episode. I think you should enjoy it, and that'll be up probably about the same time as this. So yeah, I think with these vlogs I'm not gonna like say I'm gonna post every single day, but knowing me, I probably will. Especially because I am gonna try and keep it super raw, like I was saying, and just kind of talk to a camera. And I'll be interested to see if people are actually interested in this. And they kind of want to see my day-to-day, my thought process, because a lot goes into what we do. It's not quite as straightforward as it might seem. You know, and I was at this event the other day, and someone that I've spoken to a lot online, got to know pretty well, but first time we met in person, he was like, "Oh, what do you do in your downtime?" And I thought, that's an interesting question, because what do I do? I don't do much. I kind of work a lot, and I don't say that, you know, I pretty much just work, right? And I don't say that because I'm like pro hustle culture, blah blah blah, you know, work to death, blah. I'm just, you know, one of those annoying people that actually enjoys what they do, and kind of thrive on it. You know, like if you think about my job, I make videos about food, and that's all I have to do is research and cook food. You know, now we're at the point with this channel and all the, you know, help from, you know, the incredible team that we've built. You know, I can focus on the food, and kind of everything else gets taken care of, which is a nice place to be. I think it's really blessed to be in this position. So yeah, I'll be interested to see if people are actually interested in what my days look like, because they're not that glamorous. There's a lot of this, of working at the computer, and I've finally kind of got a pretty, I've got my own office again, which is nice, just because we kind of grew so big in the last place. My office kind of got, you know, had to get used by someone that had more of a need for it than I did, the editor, Caleb. So I was kind of working on a couch, and it was a bit bad with my back, and it's hard to kind of really get stuck into work. I think now I've got my own space, I can kind of, you know, nut in, you know, get stuck in. I kind of work a bit, you know, not differently. I'm sure a lot of people work like this, but my mind kind of goes off in 1,000 directions, and for a long time I struggled with that and tried to, you know, work out how to concentrate better and stuff like that. And I think what I've worked out in the last couple of years especially is give myself the time to do that, and get distracted to a certain degree, especially when it comes to being creative and thinking about videos and themes like that. It's like, you know, the internet's this beautiful thing. It's also quite a dark thing, but it's this beautiful thing that we get access to, that can take you down a lot of rabbit holes. So, you know, and I try and, you know, people always credit me for having a really big depth of cuisine knowledge, which I kind of, it's like, it's not that true. I think my knowledge of Southeast Asian food in general, and I hate to generalize them all. It's like it's not fair on any one of those cultures. But I have that understanding of a lot of that cuisine, and a very loose understanding. I'm not an expert in any of those cuisines by any imagination, but I can skim over research quickly and understand, flavor profiles, techniques far faster than someone who hasn't had, 20 years experience in kitchens. But I think, I haven't delved much into kind of like South America, or even Eastern Europe, or a lot of that part of the world. But I am keen to get and understand that more, but I need to make some more Origins videos. I feel like you kind of got to go to these places to understand it properly. I think you can do as much research as you want, but unless you go there and eat it there, it's really hard to do it justice. That's why I tend to kind of, focus mainly on Southeast Asian, and European food. That's where I spend a lot of my time traveling. And love it, I just love that food. Interestingly, I do cook a lot of Indian food too. I've never travelled to India, but I think that's because I've worked with so many incredible Indian chefs. There's a huge Indian community in London who I work with, and I think I kind of absorbed it through there. I think London's a real melting pot, but huge Indian community, and you can get all the ingredients you need to there as well. But who knows where this is going to go. I'm kind of excited. I get excited about these things, and it's kind of how I work. I think of an idea and then I go all in on something. And I've just been watching this guy Sam that I talked about a lot lately. I really like his style, and I don't imitate what he's doing, but I think it's quite powerful what he's doing. So I might use this as my diary effectively, and just kind of vent to whoever wants to listen, chuck it up on the internet and see what happens. And if in 6 months' time there's no growth in the channel, so be it. Or there might be some growth in the channel. And I guess it's just consistency, right? If these videos get consistently 10,000 views, and someone's taking something from it, then it's probably worth doing, because it doesn't take a huge amount of my time. But yeah, I guess to reiterate, don't be expecting like crazy transitions, fast cuts, perfect lighting, or impeccable audio, because that's kind of not what this is about. This is about a genuine video log or diary where I kind of speak my mind about the things I feel like I can talk my mind about. Like I deliberately don't talk about politics or religion or anything I don't really understand online. I think once you have a certain following size, you need to be cautious about, I guess, spreading fake news or talking about a subject you don't really understand. I think that's really dangerous, so I will stay away from that stuff unless I really know something, a topic in depth. I probably won't talk about it too much, or won't touch on it at all, because it's kind of not my place. I think the only, I was got brought up with values, and those values are real simple. It's like treat others like you want to be treated, and just be kind, right? And sometimes it's not always easy to be kind, especially when people aren't being kind to you, but I think it kind of pays off in the long run if you're always kind and you try and keep a level head. At some point it'll probably be a pretty frequent thing that I'd like to touch on, is like being kind online, because I think a lot of times people aren't kind behind this screen for whatever reason. They feel like they can kind of just talk their mind, not really filter it like they would if they were talking to a person face to face. So something I'm kind of pretty keen to bring a light to. I know, internet bullying is not a new thing, but it's probably surprised me in the last 2 years, the things that some people say without any repercussion or really thinking about the consequences of that for the other person. And I also generally often just feel sorry for the people that are saying that stuff, because they're often not in a good place if they're portraying really negative thoughts like that onto other people who haven't done anything wrong. So yeah, I think it's something I'd like to kind of touch on, because I worry about the younger generation and the stuff that they're exposed to. Because even me, as a 38-year-old human being who's pretty cool, calm, and collected most of the time, and has had my fair share of bullying in the professional kitchen, and kind of doesn't really faze me too much. Even sometimes it kind of you start thinking about it more than you should. So I worry if anyone, but especially the younger generation, are kind of already struggling with self-esteem, mental health, all that stuff. I think if you then start exposing them to that, it's not usually a great outcome. So at some point we'll bring some light to that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.